Yeah.
Hi everyone to the Sub Developer Summit dashboard. And I think if you guys have any topics to discuss and do add them in the pad that is shared on the chat, so that we can go over. But I can share my screen and go over the a few of the highlights, I would say, and a quick maybe a demo later to actually go through whatever we have done in Tentacle and whatever we are bringing in Umbrella very soon. So let's get started. So in the Tentacle release, there are a couple of highlights. We have the NVMe over TCP support um, in Squid as well. And in Tentacle, we have upgraded it to support the gateway group, which is the current latest spec from the NVMe offsite. And additionally, from the UI side, user can create multiple namespaces at once, which is like not supported actually from the API, but I think from dashboard we are allowing users to create at max 5 namespaces altogether. So that would be a great ease for any user there. So that is on the NVMe upfront. And on the multi-cluster support as well, we have now multi-cluster tab there in the dashboard, and you can connect um, a hub cluster, uh, and then you can just have the another Ceph cluster connected to your current cluster, and you can also see some metrics with that. And there's the whole management, and hopefully, I think that would be that some bits of that. I think uh, we we are still working on them, but I think hopefully I think it's a whole feature that I think Ashish has worked on, and it's a great thing. So I think we'll see more in the demo. And then there is the management gateway integration with dashboard. So there is this new management gateway support from the Ceph ADM side. So I think a user can have an Nginx proxy server in front, and you can you can actually spin that from dashboard as well without any much hassle from the CLI. And it supports also the OAuth 2 protocol. So earlier for SSO we have the only SAML 2 support, but for SSO we are now having the OAuth 2 support as well. And you can also add multiple like roles as per your IDP. So that is also there in Tentacle. think um, I think a big hands to Pedro also for bringing all this and working on all these nicer stuff for the dashboard. And then on the RGW multi-site automation and sync policies, a couple of things, the features have been pushed and worked on the RGW side. You can see multi-site automation, which was kind of very much complex from UI, a lot of steps, and we have actually catered down into a simple wizard flow so that user can, in just one click, he can just set up the whole multi-site thing, and it will be like a seamless experience for the user. And also we have added tiering, storage classes, rate limiting, and RGW accounts management, which was earlier supported from CLI, is also supported from dashboard, and a user can manage it from dashboard like all the CRUD operations, hopefully. And there is the RGW bucket lifecycle and ACCUs. So there are a couple of improvements there as well. So you can manage the bucket life cycles and see it in a better formatted way. And then RGW topics and the S3 bucket notification management, that is also there right now in Tentacle, and the user can go on and manage those like the crowd operation basically. And then there is granular bucket replication. There are kind of improvements on the sync policies and the granular bucket replication that went in. A couple of bugs have also been fixed to make it for the user very much intuitive. And I think we are still working on improving more of the features, usability side as well. So we'll see more and more improvements in future on that front as well. And coming down to monitoring dashboards, I think a good amount of dashboard as well added to Grafana, including NVMe, CFFS, SMP, which is a new protocol, and it's all there. And a recent one is the application metrics. So you can see per protocol level, uh, block storage or file storage or object storage. You can see which applications are consuming how much storage for you. So it's a great improvement there. And then there is SMB monitoring and management. SMB is a new protocol. Um, it's also kind of right now supported whole its entire management in itself, along with the monitoring and everything. So that's also there. And anyways, I think on the RGW side, from our team, Dhananeshwari, Pooja, Naman, these folks have worked really great to pull a lot of things there. And on the NVMe, FFS, and monitoring dashboard side, I think Ashish and a couple of external contributors have helped us to bring that up nicely, and also Ankush. So that was all the thing with SMB, and on the SMB side, I think Pedro and Dhananeshwari have worked all the way to push these features in. And on the carbonization side, we have, like in the past summit on Tentacle, we have committed to bring standardization and modernization to the dashboard, which was currently not there. So we have adopted the modernization strategy. And as part of that, we have adopted the carbon design system, which is kind of a UI framework. Like it's a whole UI framework, and it allows you to standardize your UI components, and it gives a very nice and clean look on the dashboard front. And I think if we once I demo that, you could see the difference there. It's a whole revamp of dashboard. We have divided into a couple of parts. So we have kind of experimented and removed some of the things which we were using previously of Bootstrap, like the basic scaffolding and other things. And all the new features are already carbonized, like whatever we are talking about, SMB and the RGW topics, bucket notifications. These kind of new features are already carbonized, most of them, and the gateway group things. So these all features will be already carbonized, and other things you will see of significant change: the navigation, the tables, the forms. A lot of changes went into the blocks, FFS and RGW, and also NFS side, to carbonize those pages and adopt the carbon library. And then I think there are some depth things that we wanted to do to improve the our testing coverage and everything, and normal upgrades of Grafana and Angular, whatever the max we can reach there. So those are the basic highlight from the Tentacle release. Any questions or comments around that? Okay, I guess no. Then I'll continue with the what we have in the or what we are going to have in the umbrella. Obviously, we are going to put more effort on documentation because a lot of features are went in and our documentation are kind of lagging behind. So that would also be an effort to catch up with the documentation and update it properly, and also to improve that, and then achieve 100% carbonization, the modernization there. A couple of things are already planned or are in underway going on in PR form or in design discussions or in some other way. So, like NVMe of revamp is planned to make it more user intuitive and from the usability point of view, so that user can actually, because it's a very complex system, great namespaces, subsystems, and to make user it to be very intuitive and not very confusing as it is from right now CLI. So we're trying to work on that and to make it like easy to manage, like all the CRUD operations from the dashboard within itself. And then there is the all the improvement around the notification area, how the dashboard presents the notification and how the user can see the notifications. Um, right now there are a couple of issues with notifications. They are kind get long and hide or partially make dashboard visible sometimes. And in large cluster, basically we have multiple alerts firing at the same time. So we kind of like reorganizing our notification area to help user to also troubleshoot and also notify in a nicer manner and not a notorious way. So these are kind of like I can say the highlights there, but all the I think there could be all minor usability improvements wherever are there. I think we are fixing it right away and very actively, and we'll continue to do that in Umbrella as well. Okay, then there is an important announcement of the deprecating for the simultaneous feature for the future releases, as OAuth 2 is now supported and almost there. So hopefully it will be almost matured very soon. So it's a I think a heads up that we will obviously deprecate SAML2 in future releases. We still have to discuss it when we are not clear, but hopefully that is expected. And then we have actually removed the old dashboard. I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but if I share the screen, you can see this is the old dashboard that we used to have, and we kind of deprecated in, I think, very previous releases. I think Quincy or something. I'm not recalling, but now it is removed in Umbrella. So whatever is the version 3 of dashboard, that will be the current state of the dashboard, and user cannot. Earlier, I think some users want to switch back, and that kind of switch back feature will not be available now because we have moved on from this dashboard. Yeah, and there are like scalability and performance improvements. We are actively also worked on the some of the things in the umbrella release to and will continue to make dashboard work in larger clusters and to use and without like being heavy on the memory and CPU front. And large cluster by mean I think if it's more than 100,000, 10,000 OSDs plus or more nodes, then it will be like working in a very usable way. So that's the target, and that you can expect some of those improvements to land in Umbrella. And there's like this was something we had planned for multi-tenancy in S3 browser. They're kind of like interrelated, and we have kind of worked a couple of designs and a design discussion and all that in the tentacle, but we cannot work on that due to other things. Hopefully, I think we will start again on this one and land in something in Umbrella. Then there are also the API standardization and refinements. Lot of I think the REST APIs are very much useful and are used now by I think all of the users. And so based on that, I think the feedback that we got, we are trying to improve the documentation of APIs more, and also the value that we can provide in a in a better way. So that will be also part of Umbrella. Then there are things like general tools and packages updates. We have a couple of I think that their land there. So obviously want to work on that. And then there's one interesting thing that we want to experiment with is the troubleshooting improvements in the dashboard to make dashboard very much usable in case of something breaks, and when there's nothing good in the cluster, all bad, and how we can give the better insights. We would like to experiment something with the AI and also improve the overall behavior of the dashboard in those cases so that user can get to know the key metrics or key things that he want to. It's planned. It's not. I cannot share that. What exactly we will be doing because I think we have just discussed it this week, and hopefully I think we can expect some improvement, but that will be like kind of experimental, and we will get to know more I think at the end of the release how it went. So yeah, I think that's all from the umbrella. Any questions? Alrighty. if that's no, then I think we can move ahead with the a look of the dashboard in Tentacle. I hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes, it is.
Already. Cool. So on the dashboard, I think this is the landing page now, and it will be now the landing page um, in the uh, it will be now the landing page, obviously, and not the other one that I showed you. Earlier user can actually switch back to that one, but that's not there. And that is how it looks right now, and how it shares you the logs and details. So you can see there are some improvements with the popovers, and a couple of icons have changed, kind of minor carbon touch there, but a lot of still needs to go in this side. And then there is multi-cluster. Uh, this is how the multi-cluster tab is there right in front, and you can actually click on connect cluster, and it will give you a form. You can fill it, and then you can go over to manage the cluster. So this is your current cluster, which will always be listed. And once I think you connect, you will get more information, obviously, and you can here also. I think you can connect more clusters and fill the form and do things. And the rest of the things I think are same. So if you see, the navigation area is kind of a little bit slightly changed, and the icons and all the other things, which is kind of, and the whole nav bar, which is kind of now carbonized. And that's the term that we used to say that when we are using carbon. But it just means that we are using the carbon library now, and it's a new, fresh, modern look. And on the pools host, I think these are the normal ones. If you see the tables, as I mentioned, were changed all over the places. So this is, we are using the carbon table, and also I think the forms. Okay, this form is not changed. I'll show you the another form, which kind of we have carbonized like this one, adding hosts. So this is a carbon-based form, in similar to. So this is an example. The rest of the management remains the same as we were in the as the that was in the squid. And then there is blog, and there is the new thing, which is the NVMe of TCP. And NVMe of TCP, if you click, it will take you back, and it will take you back to create a service of NVMe, and then you can select all the imports, encryption, and everything, whatever the host gateway nodes you want, and whatever, and you can actually manage then everything there. And then there is the object, and this is a good overview of the object. If you set a multi-site sync, I think then you will see the multi-site as well. And we have also revamped the buckets form with the carbon thing, and added a lot of helper text for users. What kind of new, or I think it's just simple view. Bucket generally setup has a lot of fields, so it makes sense to add some context and help us to not just keep juggling between docs and UI. So, or CLI. So I think it's the new way, and we'll be adopting all of these in all of the forms that you see on the dashboard side. And this is the RGW topics, and this is the new thing that we have talking about. And you can select a topic, HTTP, MQP, Kafka, and obviously select the owner. Right now only one created, that is why the default one, dashboard. And then you can go ahead and try all of these settings as you want. And there is also a policy examples and generator option that you can use. So this is on the topics. And tiering, you can create a storage class, and we will be adding a lot more storage class, I think. But what is the current state of art is this one. And as you select whatever the storage class, I think the things will change the the supported spec. And you can go ahead and create and manage your all storage, class, and topic steering in a very nicer and I think in a very unified way. You can have an overall look over everything. So that's a great thing. And as we talked about the multi-site, I think this is the multi-site replication wizard flow, which is kind of very easy. And as you click and you can add whatever you want, next, then you can do that, which was kind of like a lot of steps earlier. So this is the thing that we have enabled. And I think NFS, we need to create a service and then see, and then SMB. And it will ask you to enable the SMB module. And once you enable the SMB module, I think everything else you can create then. So I think it will take some time to reconnect and do the thing I would have done prior, but I think I forgot. But I think that's the gist of the whole dashboards that whole dashboard that what went in Tentacle and what is coming along. And here you are with the SMB. You can, I think, as I said, that the team has worked on pushing all of the things. I have to connect to the Grafana to load this. But you can manage everything cluster, Active Directory, and basically the standalone access resources. So, and and we are still improving these places in Umbrella. And forgot to mention, but I think the form that are being used right now, I think these kind of forms, we are making it more user intuitive and for ease of user to fill that and come back to that. So those kind of things I think we are still working on. Yeah, I think that's pretty much we have, and that's pretty much that we have really worked on. I, I hope that it's been interesting, but if you have any questions, let me know. If not, I can show you the dashboards that are added, like the multi-cluster, NVMe gateways performance, and other MDS performance or already. Yeah, this one application overview, and that here you can see. So a couple of dashboards are also there. Yeah, that's all from my side, I think. Thanks for being nice listeners.
Are there any other questions? I guess not. I think we're all good. Thank you, Efren, for your time. This was recorded, so I'll upload this to YouTube sometime next week. I'll post about it in our Slack and also in the newsletters. But thank you all. Have a good weekend. Take care, and hope you guys join back for next week's sessions as well. Bye, everyone.